quiet until you're able to talk. But hopefully we'll get to hear from as many of you as possible. Because you have to remember that was the goal tonight. It wasn't a setup for an attack. It was an opportunity for us to hear everyone regardless of where you stand. So you would at least be respectful of your own neighbors. You can hear from more of you. So we will start now. You just raise your hand if you have a comment. All right. Did I not use my teacher voice enough? Y'all okay? So raise your hand if you have a comment. We're allowed 2 minutes for that comment, and hopefully, if we go uninterrupted, we can get as many comments in as possible as they're being recorded. The other thing we're going to do is, if you have questions, is to prepare a public FAQ to answer the questions that were on this document that we didn't get to this evening. All right, so we will start. I think I saw Ms. Wilson's hand go first.
And this is strictly comments, right, not questions. Okay. Nearly 10 years ago, the city gave Emerald Youth Foundation a dollar deal on the East Side Pool, formerly YMC of East Tennessee's East Side Pool. Now, I saw in this document that one of the initiatives of Emerald Youth is that the pool is available. I was a private contractor, 1099 for Emerald Youth Foundation. That pool is not accessible to us. How many of you all who live in East Knoxville have swam at the former YMCA pool? Who has swam in that pool in the last 10 years? Who is not a member of Emerald Youth Foundation? Exactly. So how in the world can I trust Emerald Youth Foundation with 12 acres of land when we cannot trust them with a pool? In 2016, I posted a 23-minute video of Cheryl Shute and their former athletic director after they fired me because I refused to bow down to foolishness. And they told me that they never bought this pool for us. They bought it so that their swim team could practice in an indoor pool. So I'm never the type of person, this is Tierra Lady Wilson, I don't talk about things that I do not know personally. So please let it be understood that if Emerald Youth cannot allow its community to swim in the pool, what makes us think that we should rely on them to provide health for our children?
First, I want to say that it is disrespectful that India Buchanan left before she got to this community speech. The reason our people are here is because people were excluded from this process. And the fact that she walked out before she got to hear the people speak is disrespectful.
And when Councilwoman McKenzie said she wanted to hear involved, one of the decisions was to let her hear from you. One of the decisions was to let her hear from you unfiltered. She didn't ultimately herself, we just thought at that time that this was for Councilwoman McKenzie and to speak openly with her.
I need to say that. There is so much to say right now. The community is still reeling from the fact that the city, India, and her employees carried out a school shooting and killed Anthony Thompson Jr. In 160 period, 4+ children were killed within a block of Boston East. It is disrespectful that the mayor is opting to sell this property to a private institution to avoid a lawsuit when she has refused because of legal proceedings to say, I am sorry to Ms. God, to Anthony's mother, for not calling his mama before they entered that school unlawfully and shot that child in his school and forced Brandon onto media mentioned that not much has changed since 2019. Something that has changed is that between 2020 and 2022, housing costs have gone up by 60%. Poor people and black people are being displaced at unprecedented rates. And our sister, Sky, has garnered 1,600 signatures from people in the community saying they want a community land trust. A community land trust. They want to maintain ownership of their land. We don't deserve a voice. You deserve better.
I know that this is mainly, I guess, for comment, so I know my question may not be answered, and I didn't get a chance to write it down. You can still, because you have this distinction before you leave, if you still have a question, you can write it down and put it in the box. So I guess though, while I do have the mic, I know Steve is in the room, I think I saw him. I'm Tanika Harper, CEO, founder of Shore Foundation, I'm a neighborhood for the East Knoxville community. Is the old KPD site an option? Yes. Because from listening to the community, we want to claim our part as our own, and we believe that so can KPD be an alternative site for you to look at? And I'll have a conversation. Yeah.
I just have a short comment. It's 12 acres, it's a lot of land. Emerald Youth Foundation does great things for kids and youth. I just don't see why they need all that land. And there's a lot of people in the community that are seniors, and you know, we like pickleball, we like dog parks, we like walking, we like food. We love our youth, for sure, you know, but we also like our old people too. You know, it's kind of the same thing for them. For seniors, that is being outdoors, you know, and being active seniors.
I think that one thing we need to look at is the lack of trust and transparency that has gone on in this procedure over 3 years. Now, I do not agree with India leaving. She should have stayed. Let me make that statement public. Now, in 2019, for the last 7 years, that plan for Chilhowee Park has sat on the shelf. But what happened between 2019 and 2025? In less than 4 years, we spent $114 million to build a stadium from the ground up. There was no consideration of East Knoxville. This is not about Emerald. This is not about hate. We cannot hate each other. We must agree to disagree. We are a democracy, not a monarchy. So I need you to understand that there was disrespect of our council. There was disrespect of the commissioner. People have been saying, this is not anybody else's business but East Knoxville. I disagree. The park belongs to everyone. We cannot allow public land to be sold. There are alternatives in East Knoxville. That site, that police site, if you think about that, that's the place to right the wrong of urban removal. Right there. Right there where it is. You stand right there on that spot. You look up at the Coliseum. Look up the hill of Danvers. Look down at the old city of the bottom. You want to make it right? That's where you build it. Now, if Emerald Park is pure, then they'll say yes. But if they're saying that if you can't have Chilhowee Park, there's no deal, your heart's not in the right place.
Charles Frazier. Here's the deal. When we have democracy, how many people are are for Emerald coming in our community? Please stand. How many are against? I just want to get an idea for or against, that's all. The question is to build a park for Emerald. So how many people are for building a park for them?
So what we want to do is, we don't want to create further division. We just want to make sure that everyone has an opportunity to be heard. I understand points on both sides are legitimate and valid. So we're going to get to a few more people. And, oh, I'm sorry.
the whole neighborhood. It's the only grass we have. Now, they put an 8-foot fence around it, and they locked us out for years, and we never go and play. We used to have swings there, we used to have all kinds of things there where we could go in and play. We want a park there for us. We want you to build one of those walking trails around the outside for all of us old people and all of us young kids. We want a place for our kids to skate there. We want a water park like we got in downtown Knoxville. We want swings. We want merry-go-round. We want a picnic area where we can walk in. We don't want somebody there who ain't gonna let us even go on the property. We are not children of a lesser God. We are just as good as everybody else.
Hey, I just want to piggyback on that. So I was just going to say, I don't feel like that the leaders of the city or the community, if they say that this is a game of unused property being uplifted, because the fact of the matter is it was a choice to make it unused property. And I don't think that the idea that this is just some empty space and we are all going to benefit from having this private entity take it over really takes into account the capability the city has and its management company that is outsourced management of the park to, because those were all decisions that were made that took parks away from the city. It seems less like a game to give it to a private entity. And the second thing I'd like to say is, American Cannon, wherever she is over the years, at the beginning when she talked, she mentioned that she could have done more to engage the community, and now that there has been community engagement, it sounds like that there's quite a bit of discontent with the plan. So I think the city really, if they want to actually take seriously the process of community input, they can't just wait these 2 weeks and vote on it again. We have to see something new because we need to take into account what we've heard.
Good evening. I've delved this past weekend into a lot of history. What a lot of people may not know is that when the park was given to the city, it was given with the stipulation that it never be sold. Always open as a city park for the residents. So I know for one, think that park needs to be open. I have nothing against Emerald. I hope they do well. I hope they pick a fantastic place that serves all the needs they need to serve. Not that area. Not that area. We want a park. We want a good park that everyone can enjoy. And thank you.
So the current thing about the history of the park, I believe Carmen said was 108 years old, I believe, 102 years old. Accessibility has always been the main issue of the park. Regardless of the time era in which we are, whether it be events, racial discrimination, access for anybody, the first major way that we're going to develop this area outside of either being farmland or the grass that it is currently with the parking lot in it, is going to be given to a private entity. Why would we start with accessibility being a core issue that this group of people cares about, and move it towards a private entity that has a strong religious affiliation? Now, I don't understand or agree with that, especially the assessment, and I think there was an article today about that. They assessed the property and the city's running without assessed value. There's a house across the street from the park that's for $400,000 right now. And they're going to get it for $1 million for 12 acres. Doesn't say every person. That's my opinion.
Could someone tell us the status of the vote for Tuesday night?
I was part of it, not part of it, I attended the 2019. Okay, sorry. Yeah, I attended, my neighborhood actually attended the 2019 plan for Chilhowee Park. Nor do I remember ever hearing anything about we wanted a sports complex. But But in 2006, Martin Luther King Jr. Corridor plan, and actually asked for input, because it's part of Burlington, they asked for input from the people. And what they wanted to do on that side was open the park to the public during non-event times, improving pedestrian access to the site from surrounding neighborhoods, improving amenities and services to host visual events. They wanted this park for them, not to give it to somebody else, because basically you're giving it away. And I think we deserve a real park. And, you know, when you go on the 5-year plan, just so you know, they have all the districts. You hit every district, and it's like park improvements, right? Everybody has them. You get to East Knoxville, District 6, and it says Holston Hill Park, and they say whatever their improvement is, Chilhowee infrastructure. That's what we got.
They don't care about us.
But I live on the east side of Knoxville, on East Avenue, all my life, and I can't picture our park being changed by adding something else. Although I may not know the full needs, but I do know one thing for certain. It's similar to the whole urban renewal thing, which basically gentrified our neighborhood for decades on end. And I would like to ask a question, which I know nothing against him, everyone of you. Is it really worth trying to repeat the history by making the same mistakes, by making deals with rubber stamp salesmen like Canyon, and so many other sycophants, with the exception of the people that care? It's really discerning and I think that it will try to be used as something else, making the image instead of being for the people and by the people who love going to the park, like riding bicycles, going to the Tennessee Valley Fair. I mean, what's not Knoxville without the Tennessee Valley Fair, which is the staple of our community? You know what I'm saying? And oftentimes from what I've observed at the city council meetings, for the love of God, I really want to say this: stop using gun violence as an excuse to erase the cultures and its people. Stop using a really good Christian organization like Emerald Review as a puppet show against our community. So, as far as I'm concerned for this event, if you can't handle constructive criticism, maybe this isn't the career for you at all.
Thank you. I'm sorry, we have time. And we have 2.3. I think I see Constance and then
Yeah, move on up there.
Yes. Yeah, hear me up. That always really real good. So, first off, shout out to Jazz. Jazz is right. Polite politics is dead. Your president is a 42 times felon. We are done with politics, okay? That's it. So, y'all already heard me yell the whole time because it is about accountability. If you can, has been telling bold-faced lies to the city of Knoxville for some time now. And this is one of the prime examples of her lies. Think about what Shepard said. She talked about youth enrichment. Great. Like Smiley Holland. We got a lot of things to do youth enrichment. Where's their $25 million? They're not getting right. So this goes back to the interest of what's about who's running the show. Haslam's is the face of the real MOU. That's the money, okay? The relation right here today. And we already all know when it has to invest in something like Ray Boyd invest in something, it's just that. Investment. It's a return with it. Let's talk about the cost. Okay, so $1 million, right? But initiative. These are the deals that are making behind your back. This is where your taxpayers actually spend to. These are things that are not sharing with you, like the RFP. You know, it's loose language around the RFP. There's no solidification that says 20 years from now they're not going to sell that property. They are loose language and they're not telling you that. These are part of the lies that they package and sell to you all. And shame on the black people. I cannot say enough. Black folks, why are y'all doing their bidding? No, for real. Why are you doing the bidding for these people? They are stealing our land. They are taking our community. And you are helping them. That's not Emma life. That's not Malcolm X life. That's not Slick's life. That's none of that life. Y'all are living a lie and y'all selling false truths to our people. And that's why those 500 names were selected. And that's why today you had your public meeting. You didn't have this going to be the first. You had it after they called. I called the lie. You had it after they got called for this job. You got called after they said that they meeting said you said they were going to spend your money on what they wanted. That's not a lie. People, wake up and see the future. This is not of your city, and more importantly, voters, it's your fault. You guys for the title, now deal with it. It's not going to be okay, right? Not Martin Luther King would have never done this. Never. Martin Luther King Jr. would have never done this ever. Never. 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 Shame on y'all.
Thank you all for having this meeting tonight. Thank you, Dave, for these questions. I do think you should have had this. I think you should have had this meeting before the vote on Tuesday last week. I feel like this much preparation meetings on this as well. There were no public participation meetings for immediate participation as an East Knoxville resident. This is my neighborhood park, the chemical garden at the time. And I want to share with the members of the media, some of you may have gotten here earlier, and you didn't see that this parking lot is completely full. I had to park across the street at Walgreens. So there's a lot of interest in this meeting and in this discussion that should have happened before the vote. We should have more of these meetings. We need to have discussions, ask, you know, I grew up in Cerebral, Tennessee. My first visit to Chilhowee Park was to the zoo to ride the elephants. Cute photos of me in kindergarten over there. The entire time that I have been coming to Knoxville, this park has been underdeveloped, under-resourced, and yes, underutilized. I would use it as a neighborhood if it were unlocked. Thank you for bringing the photos of the lost gates. Let's have a discussion about what this park can look at. The first choice cannot be to give it away to a private entity. We've been asking for the park to be open for 20 years. And that's how I understand that the lease is going to be for this private entity before they have the option to keep it. So please, the wait should be over, and we should withdraw this measure from council's consideration.
As well. I mean, so city council is here. But my question would be, when will the pension? What are you going to do? It's obvious that the community has decided. I mean, vote no tomorrow. I mean, vote no on Tuesday. Vote no on Tuesday and give the community more opportunity. Give us more opportunity to be able to have this conversation. Stop making these divisive choices and putting the community against each other. As I've been screaming, we have no problem with Emerald coming to East Knoxville. It cannot come to Chilhowee. It won't come to Chilhowee. If you put it in if you have anything down on that paper, it should be enough. Thank you.
they can hear me. So I'm an architect, and I've checked the specification for what Emerald is building. Those two big green squares at the top are not grass. They are synthetic turf. And the city of Boston and the city of Washington, D.C. have banned the use of those materials because of health concerns. The materials, there are dozens of materials in AstroTurf that are carcinogens and dangerous to our health. That's it.
I'll be brief. As a teacher, I know people don't like to listen to lectures, but I do want to ask you to dig deep into your heart for a minute and to build off of what Mr. Grant just shared with us. As you think about what the right way to do, Madam McKenzie, please vote no. Think about the memories you're creating with your families as we speak. Your kids are not going to go, remember that time I got to go to football practice at Emerald? They're going to say, remember that time, Grandma, you took me and we were on the walking trail and I ran faster than you. And then the dog almost caught us. Remember the memories we need. East Knoxville has been taken for granted for so long and we have so much beauty here. And I'm not the right color to represent, but I feel it in my heart as I look out among you, and it matters that there's representation for the people that have been here way longer than me, and think about the people like Nick and Giovanni. What would she say right now? Think about Dr. Booker. What would he say right now? They shake their heads and they say, no ma'am, not East Knoxville, they deserve better. I love Christy.
Thanks for listening to us. I'm Denise Hoffman, and I've lived in East Knoxville for most of my life. I remember when Chilhowee Park was open and the festivals we used to have there. And what I remember recently is driving past and seeing the gates and locks, and seeing the beautiful grass and wondering, why can I not go in there and have a picnic? Another thing that grabbed me this evening from the people who spoke earlier was that the director of East Emerald, or maybe I have it backwards, said that they're hoping to reach 30% of our youth if they build this facility. That is not good enough. If they cannot meet 75%, they don't need our property because they have 75% of the community who will utilize it if it was unlocked. Thank you.
Good evening, and thank you for being here. I just have one statement and one comment. The sales tax referendum that is going to be on the November 4th ballot has a tax increase. And under the infrastructure plan that is indicated in District 6, Chilhowee this infrastructure. If this property is sold to Emerald, will they get any of your tax dollars? And that is one issue that has not been addressed. And I want to say, this has nothing to do with Emerald Youth Foundation. I'm going to just sum it up. What would Jesus do? Vote no in opposition to selling Chilhowee Park. Thank you.
show up. Tell everyone you know to show up and bring your chair. 6 p.m. And come early. Because it's very crowded. All right, so we're going to reserve the last couple of minutes to give a call on our
My name is Willie Kelly. There's no surprise that I'm not a member of this community, but the school cases, but I've been in this community for over years. So I just want to highlight what I know is about the current plan that's concerning. It targets the same area prioritized by the African American Equity Restoration Task Force for restorative investment. It excludes the task force and the board's recommendations. It was developed without formal integration of the task force framework. It offers no enforcement and anti-displacement protections for renters and low-income homeowners in the area. It includes no target support for black-owned businesses or limited residents. It treats public investment primarily as a tool for attracting private developers rather than restoring long marginalized communities. It fails to mention the black community or acknowledge the parts of urban renewal and erasure of the very history that made this area what it is today. It relies on the language of light, underutilized land, and incompatible uses, terms historically used to justify displacing black communities under urban rule, without acknowledging the history of offering protections against repeaters. What we propose as a community, the Restoration Task Force was established by the city to recommend long-term investments in communities formed by past city, state, and federal policies such as redlining, urban renewal, and highway construction. Per the strategic framework of the task force identifies 4 areas for intervention: black-owned business development and entrepreneurship, increasing profitability and access to capital for black entrepreneurs, ensure representation in economic development institutions to expand mentorship and procurement opportunities, home ownership and housing justice, workforce equity, improving access to family-sustaining jobs and career pathways, especially students at Austin State High School and their families, community power and data-driven accountability, using the data that has been collected by the task force to identify racial disparities, support black-led advocacy, and planning efforts, and ensuring exclusive decision-making. This idea draws directly from that framework and applies recommendations to specific threats posed by the annual Chilhowee Park Redevelopment Plan. I call on the city of Knoxville and KCDC to amend the redevelopment plan to reflect the principles of the strategies outlined in the African American Equity Restoration Strategic Framework, specifically we demand the following additions: formal alignment with the African American Equity Restoration Task Force Framework, anti-displacement measures, capture the fees and property tax for long-term low-income homeowners, provide relocation, black-owned business investment, generational wealth building, and workforce use pathways. Community transparent is and power. I'm going to play my time. Thank you.
I just have a few reminders. You can still submit questions. You can still send emails. I think we're still in the process of this. When I say we, it's the board with me, because I don't get paid for this. I'm here because I respect the voice of the community, and whatever that voice is, it has value. So I offer to help with this process, and we're going to allow you to okay. Councilwoman McKenzie to close us out. Let's give Ms. Baker a call.
If you are a black business owner and you're in the Northeast area, raise your hand.
I'm gonna use my teacher voice. She said if you are a black business owner in this community or here in this room. Oh, in this room, please raise your hand.
You're a black business. I want you to
this community a long time, you know what Magnolia used to be. And we had the best decision. We had a life that was thriving. It was thriving. So I think sometimes we have to step back and say, well, what happened? Sometimes it's not everybody that's the spot. Sometimes we have to step back and say, what's happening? And how do we rebuild? And how we rebuild is all these people stood up. They've invested in this community, and we need to stand behind them and patronize them so they will not go out of business like so many other businesses we see in our community. Grand opening, what? Grand closing. So we're going to have to start being way more intentional than what we have been. But what I want to say is thank you everyone who came out tonight. Thank you for your comments, all of your questions. Which I already talked about. Not being this report to she said this was loud. As she said, those will be in the Q&A. I encourage everyone to please attend the next council meeting. Also, remember that tomorrow is election day. We got a glimpse of politics here and campaigning tonight. But go out and vote. The polls are open from 8 to 8. Look at your voter registration card and make sure you go to your correct polling location. We have some poll workers that are in the room. There will be people there who have issues with voting. They will help those things get reported because we do know that there is some voter suppression tactics that are going on. I'm not going to say necessarily in Knox County, but they are alive and well. As it relates to just a point of clarification, because a lot of times we get the city and the county mixed up. Health departments and schools are under Knox County. See, doesn't have anything to do with that other than if you live in the city, then our tax dollars are contributed to the schools as well. And so I do want to recognize my colleagues who just stand up that are here. And want everyone to know that we can't talk about this today because we are covered under the sunshine law because this is a publicly noticed meeting. So I do appreciate my colleagues that are here today. I know they've been getting emails and phone calls and texts as well. And so again, stay in the fight, keep showing up. Thank you all, and be careful going home. And make sure that you all, if you're going to be having an event of any kind, remember this business. This is an event center in our community. And we want to keep event centers and other businesses like this, what I say about our black-owned businesses, be able to get out and support them. I think that they're taking bookings as we speak. So again, thank you all for being here. God bless you and have a good night and be safe going home.